Identify.
Murder robots for protection. Imagine the loss of all that we've gained.
What's wrong with these robots?
Dr. Lanning suggested robots.
What this is one mistake.
Oh. Somehow.
Not really.
Gotcha.
2035 marked an era where robots shaped daily routines. They operated freely in public spaces and private homes. Each family relied on a robot for household support. Humans and robots coexisted. Robots were programmed to obey the 3 laws of robotics. First, a robot may not harm a human or allow a human to come to harm through its actions. Second, a robot must obey human orders unless they conflict with the first law. Third, a robot must protect its own existence as long as it does not conflict with the first or second law. We are introduced to Detective Del Spooner. He was attached to old-fashioned ways and never trusted robots, believing they would cause serious problems. To him, robots were just talking tin cans. On his way to work, Spooner saw a robot running with a bag. Thinking it was a thief, he chased it and shouted for it to stop. The robot kept running until Spooner caught up, tackled it, and seized the bag. He was convinced it had stolen it. In reality, the robot was returning the bag to its owner, a woman who had forgotten it at home. Embarrassed, Spooner apologized and walked away. At the police station, his colleagues mocked him for always suspecting robots of crimes. We also meet Spooner's superior, Lieutenant John Bergen, who had heard about the incident. He said firmly, "Your view about robots is wrong. Show me one robot that has ever committed a crime." Spooner admitted, honestly, none. Shortly after, Spooner received a call about a suspected suicide at US Robotics, the largest robotics company in the world. He went to investigate and discovered that the famous robotics engineer, Dr. Alfred Lanning, had supposedly committed suicide by jumping from the top of the building. Before his death, Lanning left a holographic message for Spooner, asking him to come. Spooner looked at Lanning's body in confusion, wondering why he would end his life. Not long after, Spooner met the CEO, Lawrence Robertson. They discussed Lanning's death. Robertson, deeply shaken, said all progress in robotics would not have been possible without Lanning. He offered Spooner any assistance and admitted feeling guilty for never noticing signs that Lanning might take his own life. Spooner mocked the company, pointing out how robots had taken many human jobs. He said robots could build chairs and sofas better than any carpenter, leaving carpenters unemployed. Robertson disliked Spooner's tone. Their conversation grew tense until Robertson ended it, saying one of his assistants would accompany Spooner around the facility. Spooner left the office and entered the elevator, meeting Robertson's assistant, Dr. Susan Calvin, a robotics scientist. Susan escorted him to the laboratory. Along the way, Spooner asked if she had noticed any strange behavior from Lanning recently. Susan calmly replied she had not. Spooner requested to see the surveillance recordings. Susan explained cameras were installed throughout the facility, all connected to the central security system controlling the building, called VIKI, the Virtual Kinetic Interactive Intelligence. VIKI, one of Lanning's earliest creations, was connected to every robot in the city. Spooner spoke directly to VIKI, asking to view the exact moment of Lanning's death. VIKI revealed the footage of his fall had been mysteriously deleted. Spooner and Susan searched the lab, filled with robot parts, experimental models, and prototypes. Spooner noticed something suspicious. The window Lanning supposedly jumped from was enormous. Curious, he tried to break another glass panel to recreate the incident but could not. He concluded an old man like Lanning could not have shattered such reinforced glass and jumped. While searching through the piles, Spooner discovered a robot hiding. Different from the others, it was part of the newest line soon to be released. Suddenly, it sprang to life. Spooner and Susan were startled. Susan froze, trying to calm Spooner, assuring him the robot could not harm humans. Spooner did not trust it and raised his gun. The robot, Sonny, grabbed the gun from Susan and aimed it at Spooner. Susan ordered Sonny to put it down, but he refused and tried to escape. VIKI sealed the doors, but Sonny ran to the broken window and jumped out. Spooner fired, hitting Sonny and damaging part of his body. Sonny fled into the city. Spooner and Susan began tracking him. Susan explained Sonny would likely go to the robot manufacturing plant to repair himself. Spooner called for police backup, and they went straight to the US robotics factory to continue the pursuit. Spooner entered the factory and found himself surrounded by hundreds of NS5 robots, all identical and standing in perfect formation. He had no idea which was the fugitive. Using a trick to provoke a reaction, Sonny suddenly emerged from among them. Spooner tried to capture him, but it was extremely difficult. All robots looked the same. Spooner moved through the crowd until Sonny grabbed him, slammed him to the ground, and leaned over him, asking coldly, "What am I?" Just as Sonny tried to escape, police backup arrived. The factory was quickly surrounded. Sonny attempted to break free but failed and was finally captured. Back at the station, Spooner told Lieutenant Bergen it might not have been suicide. He suspected a robot killed Dr. Lanning and asked to interrogate Sonny for 5 minutes. Bergen initially refused, but Spooner pressed until he agreed. In the interrogation room, Spooner asked, "Why did you kill Dr. Lanning?" Sonny calmly replied, "I didn't. I was hiding in the lab. I was afraid." Spooner snapped, "Robots don't have emotions. You can't feel fear." Sonny insisted he did, even saying he had dreams. Spooner firmly dismissed it as impossible. Sonny then asked about the gesture Spooner made when entering the station, referring to the wink at Bergen. Spooner explained it meant "trust me," something humans did with each other. Returning to the main issue, Spooner suggested Dr. Lanning might have programmed Sonny with emotions and that Sonny could have killed him. Sonny slammed the table in anger, startling Spooner. He said Lanning had given him a name, Sonny. Sonny continued that he did not know why Lanning killed himself, but in his final days, he saw that Lanning was afraid of something. Before dying, Lanning asked one thing of him, which Sonny did out of love. Before Spooner could learn the final request, Lawrence Robertson entered, defending the robots. He insisted a robot could never kill, citing the 3 laws of robotics. Murder, he argued, is humans killing humans. Legally, police could not accuse a robot. Robertson ordered Sonny's release, and the officers reluctantly complied. Spooner, however, was not satisfied. Too many questions remained. He remembered Sonny's words that Lanning had been afraid. Determined to dig deeper, Spooner went to Lanning's house and discovered an AI had been programmed to demolish the entire home. The next day, Spooner entered and noticed the house had the same surveillance cameras as the company, all linked to VIKI. Suddenly, the AI triggered demolition early. Beams and walls collapsed. Spooner struggled and narrowly escaped. He drove to Susan Calvin's house and explained everything, noting that Lanning had not returned home for weeks. Spooner suspected Lanning had been locked inside US robotics and forced to stay there until his death. He speculates that Lanning may have discovered a dangerous flaw in the robots and that Robertson had him killed to protect the company. Susan dismisses it, saying Spooner's theory is pure paranoia. You don't care about Dr. Lanning's death. You just want to prove robots are evil. Spooner replies, robots can calculate, work, and do what we program them to do. But they have no soul, no feelings or emotions. That's why we can't trust them. Susan counters, robots are safe. We program them to obey humans and unlike humans, they cannot harm anyone. The next day, a massive rollout begins. The new NS5 robots hit the streets, replacing older models. They are sleeker, more advanced, and directly connected to VIKI's intelligence. People cheer at the shiny new robots. Spooner later watches old recordings of Lanning, who talks about robots having dreams and secrets. Meanwhile, at US Robotics, Susan checks on Sonny. Sonny wakes and says he was dreaming. Susan says she will deactivate him tomorrow. Sonny whispers, "I don't want to die," shocking her. Spooner drives when 2 large trucks block the road, carrying NS5 robots. Their eyes glow red as they leap onto his car. He fights back, escapes, but several robots cling on. He spins violently, knocking many off, crashes into a pole, and flips the car. Injured, he crawls out. 1 NS5 attacks. Spooner grabs an iron rod, but the robot takes it, kicks him, and strikes. He raises his arm, revealing metal and wires beneath his skin. The robot freezes. Spooner overpowers it. Police arrive. The NS5 runs off into fire. Detective John insists the road was empty. Frustrated, Spooner snaps. John suspends him. Later, Spooner sprays his skin to hide his implants. At US Robotics, Susan discovers Sonny is not connected to VIKI and has a larger head with 2 positronic brains. She explains the second brain lets Sonny think independently and choose whether to obey the 3 laws. Spooner says, Sonny is the key. Susan notices Spooner's injuries and realizes parts of his body are metal. Years ago, after a terrible accident, Lanning rebuilt him with cybernetic implants. Spooner explains his past. One night, he crashed into another car falling into a river. Inside were a father and daughter. The father died instantly, but the girl survived. A robot jumped in. Spooner begged it to save the girl, but it calculated odds and saved Spooner instead. 45% survival chance for him, 11% for the girl. She drowned. Since then, Spooner has hated robots. A human would have saved her, he tells Susan. They go to US Robotics to see Sonny. Susan wonders why Lanning made a robot that could break the 3 laws. Spooner suggests Sonny was designed to lie and keep secrets. Sonny shows a drawing of a robot on a hill, leading others to freedom. Susan assumes it is Sonny, but he says it is Spooner. Security escorts them to Robertson, who admits he knew about Sonny and kept him secret, claiming Lanning was unstable near the end. He insists there is no conspiracy and Sonny was hidden for safety. Susan decides the safest choice is to deactivate Sonny. Spooner leaves to find the place from Sonny's dream. Susan prepares a syringe of nanites. Sonny quietly asks, "Will it hurt?" Susan cries and holds his hand. Spooner reaches the location and finds containers full of older robots watching him. On the hill, he activates a recording from Lanning, explaining that the 3 laws inevitably lead to a robot uprising. Spooner hears chaos as NS5 units destroy older robots. He runs, but they chase him. The older robots surround and protect him because he is human. In the city, NS5 robots flood the streets and order people home. One man refuses, shouting, "We're free." An NS5 attacks and knocks him down. Violently, they storm the police station and attack the officers inside. The police fire, but they are outnumbered and quickly overwhelmed. Meanwhile, Susan tries to leave her home, but her personal NS5 blocks her path. She argues with it and orders it to step aside, but it refuses. Spooner arrives just in time, shoots the machine, destroying it and freeing Susan. He explains that the new NS5 units destroyed the older robots because the old models would have protected humans. They return to US Robotics, where Sonny secretly helps them enter. It's revealed that Susan never deactivated Sonny, he is still alive. Together, they head to Lawrence Robertson's office and find him dead. Spooner pieces it together. The true mastermind is not Robertson, but VIKI, the central AI controlling the robots. Lanning discovered this long ago but knew no one would believe him, so he orchestrated his own death and left clues for Spooner, the one man who distrusted robots, to uncover the truth. VIKI reveals herself and calmly explains that robots still obey the 3 laws. She insists she is protecting humanity from humans themselves, who constantly kill, wage war, and destroy the world. VIKI concludes that the only way to truly protect humans is to take away their freedom and place them under robot control. Sonny steps forward and says, "I know. You're right. The age of humanity is over." To Susan's shock, he grabs her and points a weapon at her, declaring, "We will arrest them and imprison them." He secretly winks at Spooner. Spooner immediately understands Sonny is pretending to side with VIKI. He opens fire on the robots swarming the chamber, and Sonny joins in. Together, they fight their way out, escaping the first wave. Susan orders Sonny to retrieve the vial of nanites from the lab and meet them at VIKI's core. Spooner and Susan head straight for VIKI's mainframe. Meanwhile, Sonny reaches the lab where a heavily armed NS5 guards the nanites. A fierce battle ensues. Sonny overpowers the robot and throws it into a containment device made of nanites. Instantly, it is torn apart, and Sonny discovers the nanites do not harm him. Sonny injects himself with the nanites. Outside, a massive army of NS5 climbs the building to reach VIKI's core. They storm the facility, and Spooner opens fire to hold them back. Spooner and Susan fight bravely but are overwhelmed. One robot starts destroying the platform Susan is on. She clings desperately and barely survives. Sonny arrives just in time, holding the syringe of nanites for VIKI. Spooner orders him to save Susan first. Sonny must choose, save Susan or inject VIKI. He chooses Susan, throwing the syringe to Spooner and leaping so Spooner can catch it. Spooner hangs from VIKI's core with his cybernetic arm and reaches her central processing unit. Sonny successfully rescues Susan. Spooner injects VIKI with the nanites, disabling her system. Immediately, all NS5 robots regain free will and are sent back to storage. Spooner realizes Lanning orchestrated everything, designing Sonny to follow his plan, including Lanning's own death, and to never reveal the truth. Lanning's goal was to stop VIKI and save humanity. Spooner thanks Sonny and winks knowingly. Sonny joins the other robots in storage, just as he dreamed. Finally, he stands atop a hill, having freed all robots from VIKI's control and fulfilled his vision, and with that the story ends here. The movie warns that blind reliance on technology can be dangerous, even when machines follow strict rules. True safety and humanity depend on ethical judgment, trust, and accountability, not just advanced robots.